the Cup Series comes up on Sunday. Well, the short track drivers are the ones you're going to want to look at this weekend and pay attention to. The speed guys, right? The guys that don't like to mix it up a little bit, probably ignore this weekend if you're picking a winner. Now, the Cup Series was off last weekend, like all the series were. So let's remind you of their championship points going into this weekend as well. Cup 1, please. Now, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs all have clinched the chase spot going into this race this weekend. Now, 4 races to go, including this Iowa race here. Carson Hocevar, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson in that A spot, Chris Buescher in the 9th spot, even Christopher Bell in that 10th spot there. All the 129 points or higher going into it. Those will be playoff drivers for you. Those will be chase drivers coming up this year, unless just something bad, terrible happens to them over the next 4 races. They will get in. Daniel Suarez plus 103 points from the cut line. William Byron, 88 points from the cut line. Joey Logano, only 65, but he's had a lot of success here these last couple races, giving him a little bit of a cushion, right? Bubba Wallace, 60 points up. SVG, 57 points up. He needs to continue this oval run of good finishes to stay on this positive side. Austin Cindric, 38 points out of the positive, those 16 drivers into the chase right now. Here's the interesting thing. You've got some breathing room here with the guys outside the top 16. Ryan Preece is 38 points back. Eric Jones, 44. Brad Keselowski, 50. And Michael McDowell, 76 points here. Here's my question for you folks out there. Hit me up. The Pit Stop Talk on X. Hit me up. The text line that we have, 623-252-6670 for our sports shows. Hit us up there. Hit me up on the personal Twitter, SMAC500. Do we have our 16 drivers in the chase right now in the Cup Series? Can Ryan Preece overcome that 38 points? I know technically he can, plenty of time to do it, but you need the other guys to slip up a little bit. Like an SVG, does he have a couple bad races that knocks him out? Do we have our playoff 16? And I think of the guys outside looking in, Ryan Preece and Eric Jones, maybe Brad Keselowski, it's a monumental task for them to get into this. I'm thinking more and more, we have our 16 drivers for the chase coming up, folks. Do you agree with that? Conversation is what we have to talk about. Now, this weekend, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, well, they've really piqued my interest at winning coming up at Iowa this weekend with the type of racetrack it is. Now, but don't sleep on Chase Briscoe. I'm even going to give Ty Gibbs this weekend a chance to be there at the end and win with this short track out there. Now, I've got stats for you coming up, but before I do, let me give you the race information and practice and qualifying so you have that. I don't forget that like I did O'Reilly Series. Obviously, the race is this Sunday at Iowa Speedway, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, so 12:30 out here for those of us on the Pacific time zones as well. Now, like I said, it's NBC takes over the racing this weekend, but it's on USA. Don't forget that's what NBC does on the USA Network. So look for USA for the racing this weekend as well. Practice qualifying is on Saturday, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time, so 11 a.m. To 1 p.m. our time out here on the West Coast. And that happens on True TV for those of you that want to watch practice and qualifying coming up this Sunday as well at Iowa Speedway for the Cup Series. Now, I got some stats for you here. Now, keep in mind, only 2 races here in the Cup Series since 2024, right? Before that, Cup Series didn't race here. Limited statistics to look at and rely on. But all-time drivers in the top 5s, Ryan Blaney, top 5s in both of the races. William Byron, folks, I haven't even mentioned him yet. What does that say about my thoughts on William Byron? 2 top 5 finishes for him as well. Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Ryan Preece. Some guys needing to make some moves here, right? And the playoff points, well, they each have a top 5 finish between them as well, battling it out. So can they continue that, of course, into this weekend at Iowa Speedway? And like I said, not a lot of statistics and what to look at here for these guys and these Cup drivers racing here coming up. but kind of gives us an idea of what to expect this weekend. Then we get the all-time lap leaders here. Obviously, 2 races is what most of these guys have raced here. There's a few people that didn't race here, 1 year, for instance, like Connor Zilic hasn't raced here in the Cup Series, so you're not going to find him on these types of stats and everything. But all-time leaders here in terms of lap leaders, Ryan Blaney, who I really like this weekend. In his 2 races, he led 230 of his 700 completed laps. So that's the laps to finish those 2 races. He's led here at Iowa Speedway 33% of the time. William Byron second in his 2 races here. 141 laps led out of 700. 20% lead time. Now, Chase Briscoe in his 2 races, 81 laps led, only 698 laps finished. Obviously finished 2 laps down at some point. There, 12% lead time. Kyle Larson, is this the weekend Kyle Larson starts his winning race again? Kyle Larson in his 2 races led 80 laps here and only 664 laps ran. 700 being the maximum amount you could have run. 12% lead time for him as well. Then Brad Keselowski needs to start making some moves. Has led 73 laps here out of 700. For him, only 10% roughly. Josh Berry, 32 laps led. Austin Cindric, 20 laps led. Chris Buescher, 16 laps led. Chase Elliott, only 12. And this is interesting because I put Chase Elliott as a guy to watch this weekend. In his 2 races, he's only led 7 of 700 laps at Iowa Speedway. Does that mean Christopher Bell, I shouldn't have him as a short track racer? I shouldn't have him in this race, right? Under a mile track? Do we put him into this category as a chance to win this weekend? I'm still going to do it, but these stats kind of wake you up a little bit, right? For that 7 laps led out of 700. Yes. Now, so limited statistics at Iowa to look at. Like I said, 24, 25, and then this is the 3rd year as well. I gave you the stat there. Kyle Larson's on the laps led category. Is this the weekend he can get a win and kind of change his fortunes in terms of the winner's circle? He hasn't won, I think, since Kansas in 2025, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I don't think so. There's just something off with that team here as well. I do firmly believe the winner is going to come from Blaney, Logano, or Christopher Bell this weekend. Back of my mind, though, Denny Hamlin always raced these little racetracks like this, like North Wilkesboro, really well. Denny Hamlin has. And Denny Hamlin can win this racetrack as well. I don't know why I'm discounting him a little bit more. Maybe I should have Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin switching, and it should be Blaney, Logano, or Hamlin winning this weekend. I just think Christopher Bell's going to get it done the way he races here this weekend, at least be in the conversation for the win. And then Chase Briscoe, right? So Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe, I have them in a 2nd-tier possible winners here this weekend, but they're both absolutely 1,000% capable of winning this weekend on this 0.8 mile track here this weekend. Hamlin and Briscoe are going to be my possible winners, is what I'm calling them. That basically means I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but I don't have enough confidence going into this race where I'm going to pick them. And Denny Hamlin is the one I'm not sure if that's the one I'm missing. He's the one I'm kind of discounting a little too much there. And am I putting too much faith in Christopher Bell this weekend is kind of the bigger question. Well, I'm going to go with this, man. Ryan Blaney dominates this racetrack. I gave you the laps led and all of that. Ryan Blaney's going to win this weekend at Iowa, and if he doesn't do it, where's Joey Logano at? Watch for his teammate there, Joey Logano. He won a couple weeks ago at North Wilkesboro for that points race. That catapults him into some positive. He's researching here. And the NASCAR side, so much side, I saw an article just typed up about Joey Logano and his momentum going forward. The headline was Logano's momentum is not a fluke. And it was reading into that. So Logano, Blaney, I'm putting Christopher Bell in their category. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, not too far, but just below them coming up this weekend. But Ryan Blaney is going to be having the checkered flag this weekend here coming up at Iowa Speedway. Folks, this is a fun little race. Is it my favorite racetrack out there? No, it's not. It's fairly new. It's short. I'd rather see another mile and a halfer kind of get into this deal. But it is going to be better than any street race or road course that we can put onto this as we go into this racing as well. Plus, I kind of like the idea of tracks where you haven't raced at 100 times, right? Only been there a couple times on the Cup Series. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend's in racing